Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. A quick preview for Jai Opetaia versus Mairis Briedis 2. Of course, this fight goes down in Saudi Arabia on the undercard of Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. The vacant IBF Cruiserweight title will be on the line. That was previously stripped from Jai Opetaia. But he's now fighting for the very same title again against the guy in which he first won it from, in Mairis Briedis. I am looking forward to this fight. Number one, because Jai Opetaia has become one of my favourite fighters in boxing. For me, skill for skill, he is the number one cruiserweight in the world. Exciting fighter, really good to watch. And quite frankly, I was sold after the first Briedis fight. Going into that fight, I felt he looked like a guy with talent, but ultimately wasn't battle-tested. In that first Briedis fight, he kind of showed all we needed to see. Showed great skill in the first half of that fight, was completely outboxing Briedis, having it all his own way. Second half, Briedis came back into it, landed some titanic shots on Opetaia, broke his jaw, but Opetaia got through it, showed great toughness, and he ended up winning a competitive fight, and rightly so. And quite frankly, that fight showed me all I needed to see. It showed me that he had the skills, but also the toughness. He passed the gut check. That first fight, which took place in July of 2022, was actually one of my favourite fights from that year. But we're 2 years on now from that fight, basically. Briedis has not fought since then. And of course he's 39 years old, so he's coming towards the end. The inactivity, what is that going to do to Mairis Briedis? Could it be a positive? You know, a long break. He's had some hard fights in his career. Obviously the Opetaia fight, the Usyk fight for example, the Dorticos fight, etc. He's had a lot of tough fights in his career, Briedis. So maybe the long period out could do him good, but on the flip side, he may be rusty. You know, his timing may be off, etc. But regardless, what I will say, I certainly don't think we'll see a better version of Briedis than we saw against Opetaia first time around. Whereas when it comes to Opetaia, he's had fights since then. Since he won that title originally, his confidence has gone through the roof. And he seems to be an improving fighter. I know the guys he's fought since Briedis haven't been great, but he's done what you expect against that caliber of fighter. Didn't carry them. He knocked those guys out in double quick fashion. Knocked out Elizoro in 1 round, and he knocked out Jordan Thompson in 4 rounds, I believe. And he completely dominated those guys. And, you know, if he is at the level that we're saying he is, that's what he should be doing. But regardless, he's been more active, he's younger, he's fresher. He of course beat Briedis first time around, so he's got that confidence. Despite the success that Briedis had, Opetaia got through it and still won, so I'd assume that Opetaia going into this second fight actually has a lot more confidence than he had first time around. Last time he went in believing, this time he goes in knowing, because first time around when he fought Briedis, it was a huge step up, because Opetaia hadn't really fought anybody close to world level. He's seen what Briedis has to offer. I believe he's got better since then. I'm not convinced that Briedis has. Briedis, of course, is going to be dangerous because of his punching power, because of his experience, and he's durable as well, Briedis. He can take a shot, he can soak stuff up and keep coming. But I think he'll rewatch that first fight and look at the blueprint for what he was doing. Boxing from the outside, behind the southpaw stance, good in and out movement, good lateral movement, and Briedis in the first half of that fight really wasn't able to set himself, and Briedis was getting picked off really. You know, at that point in time though, towards the end, Opetaia got drawn into a war, maybe got a bit too confident, showed his inexperience, but you know, like I said, he got through. I don't think he'll make the same mistake twice. I think you'll see him be a bit more composed this time around, fight with a lot more confidence, a lot more assurance. And I think you'll see him box behind the jab and keep this one long. Briedis is very dangerous both on the inside and at mid-range. He's got a hell of an uppercut and he can punch with you. He's one of those fighters who can punch with you with a lot of power and time you. So I don't think we'll see Opetaia be quite as aggressive as he's been in his last 2 fights. I think he'll be a bit more circumstance in this bout. A lot more boxing, a lot more straight punches. And I think you'll see him pick Briedis off from the outside. What intrigues me is whether Opetaia can improve on his last performance, which I think he will do, but whether he can stop Briedis, because if he can, that's a statement. Regardless, despite all that, I make Opetaia a big favourite, but Briedis has been around for a long time at the elite level of the cruiserweight division. He's super experienced, he hits very hard. Like I said, he's got good timing, very sneaky fighter as well. He's dangerous still. And if Opetaia switches off, Briedis is the type of guy who can really punish you. As we saw in the first fight, he broke his jaw. So Briedis is a live dog in this fight. But given the fact that 2 years has passed since the last fight, Briedis being 39 years old and being inactive, and Opetaia getting better, in my opinion, I have to favour Opetaia to win this fight. I actually think I'm going to go Opetaia. I think he may stop Briedis. Late. I'm gonna go an Opetaia stoppage. Opetaia stoppage late is what I'm saying. But still, I'm looking forward to this one. I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, share your thoughts below. Beanie Guy Del Boy. Peace.